So, I'm going to make this short little video on using capos and how to properly use them and how to find out how to use them. There's a couple different kinds of capos. I have two here. I have my Kaiser, and this is a quick release. It's just on a spring. You can pop it on and pop it off. And this is my other capo. I can't remember the name of it. You can adjust it, adjust the pressure on it. So you can have perfect tension on the strings without over tightening, because then it'll warp the sound of your guitar. And this is the one I use mostly because it's more precise. This one I use sometimes if I have to do quick changes just all over the place. If you have someone who's playing in the key of G, let's say, in a G shape, because you can play in the G shape and not be in the key of G. If you're using a capo, you're no longer in the key of G. So let's say you're in the key of G and you want to play along with the person. So I'll give an example of what they're playing. So say they're playing that and you want to play along with that, but you want to change it up slightly and not just play exactly what they're doing. So what you can do is you can take your capo, whichever capo you got, put it on the 5th fret and play a D. Now you're playing key of G, but in a D form. So it sounds different and adds a different effect to your song, and then you can play up here. Some really nice effect to that. And also, how to use a capo is very simple. If you know your scale is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then there's your sharps and which notes don't have sharps. B doesn't have a sharp and E doesn't have a sharp. So if I was playing an E, however you play it, and I slid it up a half step, 1 fret. That'd be an F now, because I moved it up half step and there's no sharp. Now move it up another half step, that'd be F sharp, G. But it doesn't sound good, because the fret isn't moving up with me and tightening the rest of the string. So when you do a bar chord, move it up half step, now that's an F chord. F sharp, G, A, C. So you can do that. That's how bar chords work. This acts as your nut. This is your nut. And then the rest is the chord shape. So that's just, this is an E bar chord because it's in the shape of an E chord, just slid up. And what a capo is doing, instead of using your finger as the nut, this becomes the nut. So if you have a person playing in G and you want to play in D but in the same key, all you have to do is go D, move it up half step, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. And you know that the nut is 2 frets behind your D shape. So if you play it here, then the capo needs to go on the 5th fret. So you put it on the 5th fret, now you're playing in the key of G. Some songs, they use a really quick change right in the middle of the song. There's only a few songs I've heard like that where you're actually changing the position of the capo during the song. So one of the songs is by a guy named Tommy Emmanuel, and he is my favorite fingerstyle guitarist. One thing about using capos is you gotta make sure you're tuned really well, because as soon as you put the capo on, it adjusts your string tension and it could put you out of tune. When he plays the song Here Comes the Sun, he does a change from the 7th fret to open and then goes into an E. So to do that change, So he emphasizes when he's taking it off the bass, because that distracts you from actually the rest of the strings not being played. So that's how that would go. And it just takes practice being able to remove that and then be able to go into the next part of the song without skipping a beat. You have to keep timing. And I tell people all the time they need to tap their foot, because that's the only way to keep timing. You need to learn how to tap your foot with a song, and and then once you can tap your foot, you don't have to tap it all the time, but it really, really, really helps. Another song is by Aaron Schust. It's called My Savior, My God. And he plays it on the 7th fret. I can't sing that high, so I put it down 1 fret on the 6th fret. And it starts in a G. And on the chorus, right in the middle after the chorus, before it goes into the 2nd or 3rd verse, he takes the capo and moves it down 5 steps, and then goes into a C. So he'll play the chorus. Then as the strings kind of fade out, then he starts singing the rest of the verse. And then it goes into the C. So that would sound something like this. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always there for me. My God He was, my God He is, my God is always gonna be. Yes, a living, dying, let me bring. My strength, my soul is from His spring. And then he keeps going with the song. Now you can do that a little smoother, depending on how you go into it. And then if you can kind of mute the strings when you're sliding down, you really want to lose contact with the strings so you don't get the slide noise. Yes, I'm living, dying, let me bring. And there's tons of other things that you can do with the capo too. So I've seen some guys where when they're using a capo, they don't actually do all strings. They do partial strings and then get certain ones open. I've never used that before. But really simple. If you just know how to count up the notes, it's pretty easy. You just go, the chord you're in, that's your note. And if you slide that up 1, 2, and put your capo on 2 frets higher, that's an A. Because it goes G, G, G sharp, A. So as many frets as you go up with your hand, that's how many frets you go up with your capo. Okay, I hope this was a little bit helpful, and that's it for now.